June 13, 2022, as every Monday, with the World Weekly Astrology, looking a week ahead into the sky to reflect the collective consciousness and market-wise. How are you doing, friends? Very circusy energy indeed. We are in Gemini season. We are closing the eclipse season that started all May and culminated now by the full moon of Sagittarius that we are going to have tomorrow. Hopefully you are doing well despite of the craziness that we are seeing, whether in the market and in the world. And of course this video is exclusively to members via Patreon and core community, and become available to general public mostly via Telegram 24 hours after. Consider to join and to see more materials. So as I'm speaking to you, we are experiencing Venus and Uranus in Taurus. I spoke last week that this is like orgasm in sky. In mythology, Venus, she is the daughter of Uranus, the daughter of God, and the mixture between God and Earth, Uranus and Gaia, and are meeting together. This is a moment that hopefully some of you in the last weekend had a meeting with amazing people that are very high vibe and quality. It's all about leveling up the vibe in connection with people. But because Uranus is also ruling crypto and technology, we indeed saw the events that creates a lot of noise right now, and Venus that she's the value, and both in the sign of Taurus we are speaking about economy saga. Now the saga is appearing in the crypto space that actually came to liberate people, to offer us new tools outside of the biz system. That we remember that Pluto entered to Capricorn in 2007-8, and it started with the reveal of what's right now sort of happening in the DeFi with the mortgages, subprime crisis, and people finally lost their home, and it's led for the birth of Bitcoin to help people not being dependent in the financial system old structure. It took a lot of years to build a lot of percentage. Was the greatest investment of the decade, Bitcoin, and still for those that saw it from the beginning, even from 2013, 2014. And Uranus is in Taurus since the end of 2018, and we understand that it's going to be with us until 2026, even the end of 2025. The shifts of values, resources, lack of resources to appreciate what has more rarity and precious value. So it's not just precious metals, it's all what has precious value. And your health, of course, and places where you choose to put yourself, and how you invest in something that is not of the many, that has limited supply. So of course Bitcoin for now is answering to those necessities, but under this so many other projects were developed with the same promise that are not here with a pure intention. They have CEOs, they have developers that sold the promise of the new world, but all are craving for the same thing: more dollars and more materialistic, let's call it equipment of the corrupt system. Now Bitcoin here is a tool of rebel, is a tool of bringing us to original or more honest way of trade, interchange energy, that is like we are playing with cards. It's like all the idea that we are hearing about tokens. In our website we are receiving this token, in that website we are receiving that token. Imagine that we have at one token that is all about consensus. This is Bitcoin. That wherever you go in the world, you don't need to convert, you don't need all the third-party exchange. You know how to interchange those values. And this is something that helps humanity. But there are so many satanic and diabolic features, creatures in the world that will try to fake something real with something almost real, and to maintain people enslaved and in their hands. Now we are in a shift of paradigm. Taurus is also ruling the paradigm shift. And what is paradigm shift? Because our value, the value of what you are appreciating in your life, my values, the value of our companies, the value of my life, I need this, I need that. This is the shift of value. What you really need and how much you really need. This is a real question about greediness and about prioritization in our life when we are losing trust in the system since Corona started, and we saw how they are treating people. And since the beginning, you saw with a job, no job, even that you got some credit at the beginning, you thought that you are a winner, that you got a job and you can travel without PCR, or even that it wasn't like this. Everybody suffered, and now the vax people are suffering more with symptoms and not very healthy situation. We are losing trust in the system, literally losing trust. So when you are comparing Bitcoin to USD or USDT, you are actually what you are saying, I trust in the system. This system will continue forever. This bank, money in the bank, this. I understand the survival needs. But when it's come for capital, for money that is ready for investment, and you are speaking about USD and you invest your energy, I'm not speaking about money you need for it, you are actually supporting the cancer, the beast that is growing inside of a healthy DNA. And why it's so important to speak about DNA? Because as we are speaking, not that just Venus met Uranus. On the same time, in this week still, Mars, which is the opposite archetype of Venus, meeting with Chiron. So this is this is like the pain. This is the pain of what you really need by as a divine being. That we need to be light travelers. We need to connect more to the to what makes us happy, to the people that are correct to be around us, and to cost of living that we're speaking here. But with Mars and Chiron on the same time happening, is so malicious. It's like the bite. The more you want to have the orgasm, is like Venus and Uranus is orgasm moment, and on the same time, Mars and Chiron is like, it's like the bite, like cutting the penis. It's totally the women, or I don't know what the other abstract, like basic instinct with Sharon Stone, like killing you in the moment that you are about to ascend. This is the Mars and Chiron. Those are malicious planets, masculine, wounded with knives, when Venus is all about beauty and skin and let's laugh. And that's what happened now also in the crypto. And this is like the identity. So what's the name? What are the names that I'm attached for? What company? Yeah. So we are going tomorrow, June 14th, and it's happening. Okay. Yeah. It's early morning, very early morning, Mexico time, Pacific time. But it's tomorrow night. It's a full moon of Sagittarius. And what is this full moon of Sagittarius so important? First of all, we had a solar eclipse in Sagittarius that was a new moon in Sagittarius in last December. So in last December, all the crypto and the market started the downtrend. It was eclipse near to the star Antares, because the eclipses are giving us sort of a print shot for 6 months ahead at least. We understood that we are going to see a war in the next 6 months, and very recommended that you will watch back the reading analysis that I did for the United States back in October, and I spoke about it also for the Russia before the war started. So Sagittarius is very much speaking about the world, about expansion, about cultures, about freedom concepts, and what was about secrets reveals. So this full moon of Sagittarius is a first culmination of the new moon of Sagittarius that we had last December, but it was eclipse, so it's pivotal for the world and for how the world is organizing itself. And indeed, from December we had the Omicron and another wave of lockdown in different places. Now from April, after Jupiter and Neptune met in Pisces, they released it and then brought us directly not just the war, they tried to bring the moneypox to remain people in trust. You are seeing the corruption all over. So this full moon month that we are starting now in the month of Gemini, full moon in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, that is right now in Aries, not anymore in Pisces as it was. It will come back to Pisces as it will start to retrograde later on in a few weeks, and it's just activated by Mars, so it's more aggressive, more invitation for violent, and we saw a lot of shooting here and there and more speaking about threats here and there. But this is more for the spiritual warriors to be in luck, about define who you are, what is your truth, what you have been doing for the last even 10 years, how you developed yourself, what is good for you, and stop satisfying others and going according to the law of something that is collapsing. Is start already decentralize yourself to go to what is your own truth. And this full moon is ruled by this energy of Jupiter in Aries. Now it could work for both direction. It could work for creating extra fear and emergency and putting people in a war situation, because a lot of people are not waking up and life will not permit us to sleep again. Pluto is finishing since 2008-7. It's 14 years after, until next April will finish Capricorn. So first of all, there are so many things in mind. The year that I was speaking, even Bitcoin 100K and all this, is not the Gregorian year by December. This is not interesting. We are speaking about psychological year. The year that we are now will sort of, with this phase that it takes, is at least to the level of February, March 2023. Okay? So it's not this December, but we are seeing that because until next December is going to be another new moon of Sagittarius. So this full moon of Sagittarius is showing us, are you in the right direction for liberating yourself from the old world structure, from your old family condition and program? It's all about deprogramming. So the events that are coming here can be very shocking to a lot of people that thinking the old pattern. I just invest in Bitcoin because it's a good hedge against the stock market collapse or against all those things. Continue to think in the old economy structure, craving for more dollars and for more of the securities that nothing is going to be safe, of the old world. And this full moon is invitation. Know who you are, know what you are holding for, what has more value, and what is your truth to maintain your freedom. We can connect with like-minded project, with like-minded people. I found my place in the right structure, the right community, the right company even, that giving me now sense to my lifestyle, and it's very feel safe in all the craziness that is happening. Saturn is retrograde, and in a very significant degree of Aquarius, people rebelling because they say you could not trust the system. You just need to trust and to be with integrity, who you are. That's what I was speaking since March, and with all the Pisces, so much corruption, and even lies that we were lied because of our past program, what we follow to do. And Saturn is the structure of our life, and in Aquarius is like a social rebel that we cannot continue listening to what people asking us to do, or what the law or the global law ask us to do. And Jupiter, the Sagittarius, is speaking about breaking the law. It's all about breaking the law. It's like very much inviting sort of civil unrest or civil war, or people taking back their power. Also remember that last time Jupiter was in Aries in these degrees, it started the Arab Spring. People, millions of people in Arab countries went against against the dictatorship that were happening in their country. We saw what happened in Tunisia, in Libya, and of course the Syria war that still in play for the new world order in the Middle East, looking strongly on Turkey, Israel, Iran, and Russia. This is a lot of identities. This is also the Jupiter-Mars identities that are about to change. We're all about to change. Our identity is important, that we are following our truth and a divine truth. This is the Venus and Uranus meeting on the same time that Mars and Chiron. So the more you moved and adapted to the right environment. And finally today, Mercury moved to Gemini, came back home after retrograde and all the confusion, and all this shift actually created this low of Bitcoin back to 2020k in a very surprising way, in a vertical way. But the identity of countries, the identity of people that are going with the divine integrity are going to enjoy from greater opportunities, greater growth and thrive. Feeling with the right people is not going to be suffer all over the world. It's going to be suffer in major areas where people are still moving as sheep in the same area and zones with the same behavior. We need to revaluing priorities of our life. What is more important? We know that the health you have right now, no money could purchase this if you stuck to bed, or the access for things, the things that reminds us life than just watching life on TV or seeing wealth on screen that isn't buying you the real sensations and feeling and people around you. Very, very important. To rest of this, after the full moon in Sagittarius, we are going to feel the moon near Pluto, in Capricorn, and Pluto retrograde, the moon meeting Pluto. We already experienced a lot of personal planets meeting this Pluto in the last months, specifically when Mercury and Venus met there, and that what led to a lot of financial issues. But at the same time, the moon this week, happening on Thursday, moon meeting Pluto, Venus meeting in 22 degrees of Taurus, the North Node. Venus just met Uranus, and now she's going to meet the North Node. And we know that by the end of July, the North Node and Uranus will meet with Mars. So that's why I'm so abstractive also with how I'm speaking about economy and the values. This is a big economy event I expect to happen in the world. And the more you are true to yourself and your identity, where you are, and you are not trusting a system that trying to justify this, the corruption, they are all corrupt. Where you are doing justice in your life, in your communication, in your trade. I spoke already with all you in the community about the perspective in the beginning of May, after meeting, participating in crypto conferences in Serbia, to go out from many altcoins projects that are promising this and that, and to stack more, to be stuck. And also self-sovereignty is about private wallets, not in exchanges to Bitcoin. Okay, now a lot of funds is locked in many exchanges, and people cannot access it. And the next step of this is that once you want to purchase things, they become more expensive because the dollar is losing its value and less products in the market. So it's creating a lot of difficulties, specifically to people that are stuck in the city. And stuck in the city is with all the stuck in the city is also being connected to the same resources that millions of people in very small areas are connected. And when shortages coming to the city, it can create chaos, and we need to prepare for chaos, because Saturn, after to finish the retrograde by the end of the year, will move to Pisces next year, when Pluto will enter to Aquarius. Is chaotic, is chaotic, and is also mastering spirituality. And I hope that people will not master spirituality through being sick and poor. So we are called with all the signs from now to go to places that we can engage more with nature, with fresh fruits, with everything fresh that is more Gaia, more Mother Earth, and our body. Practicing yoga, practicing things that will increase the energy of our body. Our energy, our vitality is energy, that is currency. When you don't have energy, you cannot exchange nothing, even not sex. So how you are increasing the energy in your life, and it's not just money. Money will not be able to buy you this. First of all is to optimize. This is the call of this month. And look, it seems that also corruption in exchanges, they are optimizing their holdings, selling, holding, no liquidity. Now in Celsius, it started with Luna, more DeFi, centralized. I'm not an economist. I don't have all the terms to tell you what exactly is happening, and it's not very much interesting me. I never really felt trust in the DeFi stacking money there, here and there for the interest there. I never was convinced of this. I just wanted to have tools to be in a freedom move. So are you believing in dollars? Are you caring? Imagine that Bitcoin was a gold stored somewhere in your home, and you are just don't care for now how much it costs. Like you are not selling your apartment because you just love living in this apartment. But of course that for the day-to-day trade, we can find a way to do this. And it's already happening in some countries, as I'm going to check soon in a few months in El Salvador for regular purchases. It's all the time for finding self-sovereignty, optimizing our cost of living, optimizing the lifestyle that we are doing. And this is sort of preparation to what shortages, to what failure system is happening. Maintaining your health is so important right now. This is the real currency. This is the Venus in Taurus and near Uranus. And the most beautiful people around you, or the like-minded that are thinking and believing like you, It can be support. It could be your network, wherever and whatever happens. This is the currency that we have support. That you are not alone with the dogs. So by the end of the week, the moon will pass Pluto and then Saturn, and at the same time Venus will meet with the North Node. This is opening new opportunities, and I think and I still believe that is still buying the dip, and specifically for Bitcoin, and not buying Luna, and not buying the dip of Pirate Coin or all those things right now. I don't know all those hundreds and thousands of projects that are offering you to convert to their platform. Right now is a purge, and still a purge is about to accelerate into the end of the year, as the South Node is in Scorpio. And we need really to get prepared for the event that we are going to see between end of July to September, and still toward the end of the year. So how you hedge yourself before you are taking any strategy? First of all, concentrate and focus on your health, focus on the little things that you are handling, or your money, I don't know. So how you take your money out of the bank, more common sense. Even if Bitcoin is not going to be the final product, you are concentrating to Bitcoin, and from there you maybe will be able to move to the next sort of investment in a way. But yeah, this is the fight on capital. Capricorn, capital money, the money of investment. We are not speaking just about the money of survival for buying food and drink and having shelter. And this is also alert for going to a more harmonious places. This is also very beautiful this week for more of beautiful relationship that can open up. Venus and North Node relationship that will start this week will be very much supported. And also investment in yourself that will start this week will be very much supported. We're gaining clarity right now. It's not just Gemini season, it's Mercury in its home in Gemini after harsh retrograde. And Uranus is in 17 degrees, my goodness. Uranus is coming on my Jupiter. It's happening in more countries. And this is really transcending dimension. Like all what is happening in the world isn't going to touch you. Just being a place that you are untouchable. This is part of the call I'm reading here. Whatever aggression is happening, go to peaceful places that you are above limit of time and space. So that's what I had to inspire you, to introduce the energies and what is in my mind for through looking in the astrology of this week. Really good time to contemplate on values, what has values, what we are valuing, and how we are restructuring our life and free ourselves from old patterns, tradition, places. This is the title of this week, is the full moon of Sagittarius, the meetup of Venus with Uranus will start, and Venus with the North Node by the end of the week, and of course Mars and Chiron, that this is new identity. You are a divine warrior, and you don't need to be harmed with real violence by protecting yourself with going with your truth. And the healthier you are, the strong you are to fight any virus or bacteria that surround you. So also very important to go out from toxic places, toxic environment, from toxic projects. And yeah, we know that the chaos is coming. We are in a chaos. People will need to move from their comfort zone. Uranus and Taurus. It's not going to be easy to a lot of people. But at least you should be like a drone, flying above the crash of the rocks. And are you light enough to fly high? Love you all. Speak to you soon.